What happens when love and music intertwine? Find out in Lee Adams' newest release, Love on Tour. Set against the backdrop of a thrilling concert tour, this story explores passion, heartbreak, and finding your true melody. Perfect for anyone who believes in second chances and unforgettable moments. Don't miss out. Pre-order your copy at leeadamsbooks.com today and be part of the story that will rock your world.
Hey everyone, it's Rich Bennett. Can you believe it? The show is turning 10 this year. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who've tuned in, shared an episode, or even joined the conversation over the years. You're the reason that this podcast has grown into what it is today. Together, we've shared laughs, tears, and moments that truly matter. So I want to thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make the next 10 years even better.
Coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union Studios, Harford County Living presents Conversations with Rich Bennett.
Slow pitch transfer.
I never played It's probably the least sexy part of the organizing. That's okay. No. The truth is.
Welcome to Conversations with Rich Bennett. Today, I'm joined by Maria Chapman, a powerhouse in resilience, entrepreneurship, and advocacy. Maria is the owner of Connected Ghostwriting and the founder of Journey to Success, a nonprofit dedicated to helping disabled entrepreneurs build businesses that align with their health and values. After being medically retired from her teaching career due to a rare neuromuscular conditions, Maria rebuilt her life through writing, turning a few hours of weekly work into a thriving agency that now supports her family and employs a team. She's here to share her remarkable journey from hospital bed to business owner and how she's now helping others to do the same. I don't know why I am so tongue-tied.
I have that effect on people.
How you doing, Maria?
Oh, good. How are you?
I am doing awesome. I before we get into the nonprofit and everything, I have to ask about the rare neuromuscular conditions. What was that? Did I say it? Neuromuscular?
You did, but I could have put the actual condition names in there, but that would have just been worse.
Yeah, don't make it harder on me. Good Lord.
Yeah. So I have chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't put that in there.
And I have myasthenia gravis. And so those are two different conditions that just don't play nicely with each other.
Well,
not that either of them plays nice by itself, but that's...
So what exactly are they?
So the easiest way to describe it is myasthenia gravis is... my body has a hard time absorbing the chemical your nerves release to your muscles.
Oh, okay. And
it causes rapid muscle fatigue. And CIDP, which is the shorthand, is a similar process to MS, but it's peripheral nerves instead of your central nervous system in your brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I have both, although we think the myasthenia might be in remission.
Good.
I don't know. It's hard to tell because there's two things going on.
Yeah.
But
so how does one get that? Or do you know?
Well, so they're both autoimmune conditions.
Okay.
So who really knows?
Right.
The theory is I was a teacher. Teachers don't take sick time. I don't know if you know that about teachers, but we don't take time off. And I had Lyme disease and I didn't know it.
Okay.
And I could not find anyone to test me. And it was neurologic Lyme. It was in my spinal cord. And then I also had strep throat that didn't clear properly.
Okay.
Despite antibiotics. I don't know. And then I got a flu shot. And all of those things replicating on nerve cells, my body just started attacking the nerve cells and went haywire. So.
All right. Now, this is scary. What do you mean you couldn't find anybody to test you?
So I started having symptoms in 2018. I was a weightlifter and a runner, and I stopped being able to run.
What?
And if I ran, I'd get like the best way I can describe it. And anyone that has CIDP, when I've said this in support groups and things, they're all like, yes, that's what it is. It feels like an electrical storm in your legs or arms or whatever. And so I would get that every time I ran. And I thought, well, maybe I'm overtraining. So take some time off. And then I started losing weightlifting ability. So if I was doing overhead presses with 30 pounds, then it was 20, and then it was 15. And at my worst, I couldn't lift a cup of coffee. So
really?
Yeah. It was pretty scary. And in that time I saw 12 different doctors, and I was told it was probably anxiety.
Oh, come on.
I was like, yeah, I have anxiety because
of all this stuff going on.
Because my body's not working, right? But it's like a chicken and egg problem. So anyway, 12 different doctors. I live in Connecticut, where Lyme disease originated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Old Lyme, Connecticut is where Lyme disease was first.
I had no idea.
Oh, look at that. You learned something today. So, so Lyme disease is so common here. My daughter's been treated for Lyme disease. My son's been treated for Lyme disease. My husband has had it. Everybody, it's so common, right? And I was a trail runner. I ran in the woods.
Oh.
But because I didn't have a visible active tick bite, because I didn't have any of the visible symptoms, they kept dismissing it. And no, we're not going to test you. No, we're not going to test you. And then I fired my whole medical team and started over with a new doctor. And that was the first thing she did. And she tested me. She started me on antibiotics. And all of a sudden I stopped getting worse. My hair stopped falling out. Like,
your hair was falling out too?
The curls, they were falling out. It was sad.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
It was scary. Yeah, so I mean, that's the theory, is that it started with Lyme disease.
And this was 2018.
2018, I started having symptoms. November of 2019, on Thursday, I taught a professional development seminar for the teachers in my district. And on Friday, I got out of bed and my legs didn't work.
Oh my God.
Right. So, yeah, that was...
What in the world would... Okay. Obviously, I know what was going through your mind. I mean, just outright scared.
Panic. Absolutely.
But how is your husband and your kids?
So my husband, at the time, jumped into let's do the next thing mode, right? Let's go to the hospital. And frankly, if you are trying to get attention in a hospital, having a tall white man there with you is a great move.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. Shouldn't have to be that way, but
no, it shouldn't.
But if you ask him now, he will say he was pretty sure I was dying.
Oh my God.
And, he never said it at the time. And he was very focused on just do the next thing, caretaking, jumping in with the kids, and all of that. But if you ask him now, he will say he thought I was dying. And yeah, it was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably be, I would be the same way. I'd be scared out of my mind. I mean, if that would happen to my wife.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah. I would not be fun at the hospital if they said no.
Yeah.
Good thing I'm a tall white guy too, huh?
You'd probably get some attention at the hospital.
My God. So, all right, at this time, so before that, were you writing before?
So I was, in my teaching career, I was instructional coach for teachers. So I did, I did a lot of curriculum writing and curriculum design work. So I did a lot of writing in there.
Okay.
In that area of my professional life. But writing for myself, I hadn't done in 9 years. So I initially went to school for journalism and social work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then I listened to people who told me that it was too hard to make a living writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I wound up in teaching. And now I write for mental health and social justice professionals. So
I love
that's
that.
just like, it's fun. That's funny to me how that worked out. But, I had someone who was close to me deleted a manuscript off my computer when I was 27. And it was such a blow. I let that stop me from writing for 9 years.
Tell me they deleted it by accident.
No.
What?
No, they did not.
Oh my God. All right. And now you're helping to write for what?
Yeah. So Connected Ghostwriting, we write primarily for mental health and social justice professionals. So we write for a lot of nonprofits. We take care of impact reports. We write books about stories of people they've helped to help encourage donations. I write for a lot of therapists.
What made you decide to go that way?
Well, I don't know that I can say it was an intentional decision.
Right.
Except that, I have the background in journalism and social work.
Uh-huh.
Right. And so it was sort of a natural area of interest. On top of that, though, November 2019 is when I was hospitalized. And so when I started freelance writing, looking for people to write for, it was early 2020.
Oh.
Yeah. So while y'all were dealing with COVID, I was learning how to walk again.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I think because of how prevalent the need for mental health care was at the time, it was a natural
and still is
segue. Right. But people became more aware of it at that time.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, too, and we've mentioned this before several times on the podcast, because during COVID, those kids that were in school at the time lost, I saw a statistic, I think it's like they lost 3 years of social communication or whatever. And it just drove mental illness sky high. Yeah.
We have 5 kids, 3 are adults, 2 are younger. So 27, 25, 22, 14, and 8. And so at the time, our 22-year-old was graduating from college or from high school. And it was really tough on her.
Yeah.
My 14-year-old was in 5th grade. I actually started a micro school in my basement. I had a bunch of neighborhood kids in here.
Okay.
Because I was a teacher, but I wasn't working because of being medically retired.
Right.
And all of our neighbors, a lot of them were nurses, and they needed to go to work. So their kids were here, and I was helping them with their lessons. So my son got to have that social interaction all the way through COVID, which I was grateful for.
Good. So, wait a minute. How old's your oldest?
27.
5 kids.
Yes. So we are a yours, mine, and ours family.
Oh, I was going to say, because there ain't no way you would have had to been like 10 when you had your first.
No, I'm older than that, but thank you. No, so my husband was a single custodial dad of 3 when I met him.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I had 1, and we had 1 together. So yours, mine, ours.
I like that. I want to go back a minute, because in the beginning you mentioned how you were running and doing weightlifting, or weightlifter or bodybuilder.
I say,
because I know there's a difference.
No,
right?
I say weightlifting. I don't think bodybuilding is actually a great route to health.
Okay. Well, and there is a difference too, yes. I believe. So since then, have you been able to get back into that? Yeah. Have you really? Oh, that's awesome.
So the neurologist that I see now, he credits the fact that I had been weight training since my 20s with my ability to recover the way I did.
Good.
So the majority of people with both of these conditions are either permanently wheelchair or walker bound once they get to the point that I was. But his theory is that since I had so much muscle for the disease to work through,
Mm-hmm.
and then muscle memory being what it is, I was able to recover faster. So I remember when he told me that, I said, so what I'm hearing you say is that I should never stop weightlifting.
That's the way I would take it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, from the moment I was able, I was back lifting weights sitting in a chair. You know, I have a gym on the other side of the cabinet behind me is a gym. And
Okay.
so that's always sort of been part of my identity, part of who I am. So I just, even if it was a 1 pound weight, I was doing it.
Can't stop.
Can't stop.
Yeah.
And then when I got to a point, I actually found a research study on myasthenia gravis patients that was done with specific rehab exercises in a physical therapy setting. And I took the study, I turned it into a workout program using exactly what they had done.
Okay.
And put it in a spreadsheet for myself. I did that for 8 weeks. And then I needed something harder. It really, it actually worked. And I remember I went to my physical therapist and I said, this is what I've been doing at home. This is all too easy now, but here's where we're at. And then I started sharing that spreadsheet with other people in my chronic illness groups that had the same conditions. So yeah, it was that I guess I'm just wired to find the solution.
Okay. So since you're back doing all that, the exercise, are you actually helping other people as well with that have different problems? Not with the writing. I'm talking about with the exercise.
Yeah, not directly, but yeah. There's a group I'm part of that's a myasthenia gravis exercise group. And so it's people with the condition, but who don't want to stop exercising. Years ago, when people would get this condition, because it's rapid muscle fatigue is the main symptom, doctors would tell them to not exercise.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because their muscles would fatigue.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Now I'm lost.
Because so the muscles it affected for me the most were my eyes and my ability to swallow and talk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so it really was like, if I exercised too hard, if I pushed myself too far, then I'd have trouble swallowing the rest of the day.
Yeah, but I would think if you didn't exercise them at all,
then you atrophy.
Then, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And so that's the research study I found, and I don't even remember who did it right now, or I'd credit them, but the research study I found was sort of the first one where they were like, well, maybe exercise is good for people with this condition. Let's try this in a controlled way.
Right.
And the results were really good. So I did it.
Wow.
And then when I could walk to my mailbox, I started working with a personal trainer. And
how long was that after everything happened?
So I've had 3 flares. So the first was the big one in 2018. And then I got COVID in...
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, COVID will send me right back. It's terrible. Now, if I do get it, I take the antivirals and I do okay. But the first time I had COVID, it sent me right back to needing a walker for a period of time. But, I started working with a personal trainer as soon as I could, because frankly, I need someone to tell me to rest, tell me to stop, to slow me down, and to work on all of those modifications. Like, well, if I can't do a push-up today, what can I do instead?
Right.
Right. And so I pay Randy to think about it so that I don't have to.
So how often are you actually working out?
I lift 3 days a week, and then other stuff as I want to. So at this point, the only thing I can't do yet is
Yeah,
run.
I love that. I love that yet.
So the only thing I can't do yet is run. And that's not to say I can't run at all. I do
Right.
occasionally do some interval stuff, run for a minute, walk for a minute kind of things on a treadmill, controlled environment, all of that, not outside. And I can run with my kids. I can play with them. That's fine. I just can't run the way I can't run a 5K.
You can't run like you used to.
Yeah.
Yet. I love that.
We'll see.
I love that yet part. Wait, so have you actually, especially since you do the ghostwriting, have you ever thought about writing your own book?
Oh yeah, it actually comes out late fall or early.
Oh, come on.
Yes, it's being published by Morgan James Publishing.
Really?
Yes, and it is it's me, but it's also how to start a business if you have a disability. Because that's what we do in the nonprofit. And the book is a companion for the nonprofit program. And it's sort of undoing that notion that to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to put in 60, 80 hours a week.
Yeah. Okay. You need to write a memoir too, though. I mean, your story, we just started, we haven't really gotten into the ghostwriting. But your story, what you went through is amazing. You're a strong ass woman.
That's true.
And I don't mean because of the weightlifting.
No,
I mean everything you've been through.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's true. So I the thing about memoirs though is that they're very hard to sell if you're not already famous. So we'll see.
Well, yeah, that's true.
But I was writing the first chapter in my book the other day because I wrote the whole book and I said, wait a minute, I need a chapter at the beginning. I just sent it to my editor yesterday. So we're excited.
Okay.
And I called my mom and I said, hey, Mom, I need to tell the story of the Easter eggs in the first chapter of my book.
Okay.
And I wanted her permission. So when I was a kid, my dad left in December. My mom had 5 kids and was trying to hold things together. And this is when I was 12. And that first Easter, we were not invited to anyone's house. My dad's side of the family didn't invite us over. Her side of the family didn't invite us over. So she's home with 5 kids Easter morning. And I was 12, so that means the youngest was 3 at the time. And the way I remembered the day is my mom, we did Easter baskets in the morning. Mm-hmm. And then my mom took her shower. She came out of her bedroom and said, okay, grab your Easter baskets, get in the car, we're going. And we drove 2 hours to Lake Michigan.
Wow.
And then we took all of the Easter eggs that we had dyed and we chucked them into Lake Michigan. Like that was the activity of the day. Just completely ridiculous.
Ooh. I don't know. That sounds like it'd be a lot of fun.
So fun. But I remember talking to my mom about that as I got older. And what she said to me was, I was sitting in the shower crying and I realized that I had 2 choices. I could pout all day about the fact that my kids and I weren't invited anywhere for Easter.
Right.
Or I could shake things up, do something differently, and make it a good day.
And you guys had a blast.
And we had a blast. And the reason I needed that story for the first chapter is because it is a story that is not about disability. It's not about chronic illness, but it is about having that moment where you say to yourself, you know what? This sucks really bad. This sucks and this is not fair.
Wow.
And also, I'm going to do something about it.
I love
it's that moment of not just sitting in the how much it sucks.
Yeah.
That decision to just be like, well, I can't change what's going on right now, but I can go throw Easter eggs in the lake.
I'd be sitting there trying to skip them across that lake and everything.
Yeah, I think we did a couple of times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of course, if my luck, I'd probably be the one to get the raw legs. I forget the dime on.
But you can still throw them in the lake.
Well, yeah, this is
maybe
true.
Not right now though. They're expensive. I wouldn't throw eggs in the lake right now.
I don't know. They dropped down where I'm at.
Did they?
But I picked up a dozen the other day, $4.39.
All right, that's pretty good.
But what I need to do is find a farm and just get fresh eggs. Because something about fresh eggs and even duck eggs.
Yeah.
Oh,
where I
God.
live, there are a lot of places, a lot of houses around me that sell eggs.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have chickens, but I would then need someone else whose job it is to take care of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, I think.
I'm just also already overextended. Like I'm
Well, you got a nonprofit, you got your business, you got you're working out 3 days out of the week for
pile of
now.
kids.
I have a funny feeling within probably this year you're going to be getting ready for a 5K.
We're gonna see. I mean,
You're going to do it. I think you are. I really think you are. So yeah, I can understand why, because you know what's going to happen if you get chickens. Next thing you know, you're going to want goats. Then you're going to want sheep. And then you're going to have to move. You're just going to have to get a farm.
right. And then I'm gonna be too busy.
Yeah, still.
Too busy. Too busier.
You're going to be working that 60, 80 hours a week.
Yeah, no, I will not be doing that.
Yeah,
No, thank
you don't
you.
want to do that.
No, thank you.
All right, so I want to get into the ghostwriting and everything. I love the fact that you're, helping people that disabled entrepreneurs and all. So, what are some of the biggest challenges that they face that people don't always see or understand?
So there's a couple of things that I run into when I'm working with entrepreneurs that have challenges.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is this idea of climbing the corporate ladder.
Mm.
And whether it's entrepreneurship or as an employee, there's this idea that one should always be striving for this big thing at the top.
Right.
I don't know if you've ever tried to climb a ladder in a wheelchair, but it's a little tough.
Oh. Never even thought about that.
And, the traditional corporate ladder that people talk about, the traditional route to success that people talk about, was built for white men in the 30s, 40s, and 50s who had a stay-at-home wife taking care of the house. And all they had to worry about was getting up and going to work from 9 to 5, and then they went home and put their feet up.
Mm-hmm.
And that is not the people that are in the workforce.
Not
days.
today. No.
And so all of these people, when they are working with me, have come from a background where they are trying to climb a ladder that wasn't even built for them.
Yeah. Wow.
And so the roadblock there, we have to redefine what success looks like. And that really requires you to completely block out whatever anybody else is saying.
A corporate ladder needs a damn ramp.
I mean, the phrase I use in my book is just burn the ladder to the ground.
Ooh, I like that even better.
Just throw a grenade behind you while you walk away. It doesn't matter. It wasn't built for you. It's not your ladder. Build a ramp, build a path, build a winding trail through the woods. I don't care, but do it on your own terms.
So what kind of people are you working when I talk about disabled entrepreneurs? What's some of the disabilities of the people that you're working with have?
So I am focused on helping people who are disabled mid-career. Typically that means a chronic illness or some sort of injury. So The two people I'm working with on a one-to-one basis right now, one of them is a woman who has MS and could no longer continue in her traditional employment setting because of it. And the other person I'm working with had long COVID and also had a traumatic brain injury.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Now, are they close to where you live, or are they?
No, we're national.
Okay. So how did they find you?
Those two people are people I met in a networking group somewhere along the way. I have an incredible network of people. I do a lot of networking, and I really believe that businesses live or die based on your network.
Yeah.
And connection with other people. And your network can't just be about what can I get out of you. It's how do I serve? How do I help? How do I help connect people to one another? And so that's how I met them. And so when we opened up applications initially, because the nonprofit just got funding in December. We are now 3 months old. We are a baby organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to say that we're building the plane while flying it.
I like that.
It's like we're going down the runway while we attach the wing, and then we'll install the seats when we're taking off. Because you can't build a program out unless you're testing it along the way.
Right. You're listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. We'll be right back. Let's take a little break here so I can tell you about my friends over at Four Seasons Landscape and Construction Services. And when it comes to lawn maintenance and lawn renovations, they are definitely the go-to people, even snow removal services. But something else that a lot of people don't think about that's very important that they do, stormwater maintenance, whether it's a pond clean out, remove overgrowth of woody ornamentals, debris, trash, and even drainage services. If you have a cracked foundation, they can rerun your downspouts, French drains, proper grading. There's so much that goes in to stormwater maintenance and the proper drainage in your yard, and a lot of people don't know how to do it. You don't want it to run into the bay. You don't want it to run towards your foundation. You need the professionals to take care of it. And the professionals are Four Seasons Landscape and Construction Services. Give them a call today, 443-390-YARD. That's 443-390-YARD, 9273. Or go to their website, fourseasonslandscapemd.com. Again, that's fourseasonslandscapemd.com. They're giving you sustainable landscapes for the future, and they are the ones that get your yard looking beautiful. You said 3 months?
3 months. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I opened up the applications just in a couple of entrepreneur groups that I was part of already.
Okay.
And sort of pulled from my network. We are opening up broader applications. We're shooting for June. We are starting with the Journey to Success Academy, which is on like asynchronous learning online courses that we're putting together to guide people through the early stages of business ideation and coming up with, is this idea feasible?
Mm-hmm.
Does it fit in my area of genius? Is it something I can actually do with the time I have available? Putting together a brief business plan. And then people will be invited to apply to the one-to-one mentorship program once they've completed the online courses.
Okay. So and you guys are 501c3, right?
We are.
So 3 months, how long did it take you to get the 501c3 part?
Let's see. We were funded December 12th, and we had the 501c3 before the end of February.
Really? That's pretty good.
Build the plane while we fly it, Rich.
Well, I know, but still, I mean, a lot of times when people apply for that 501c3 status, it could take 6 months to a year.
So here's how you get around that.
Okay.
You find the right people, and then you trust them to do the work the right way.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you should align yourself with people that can help you?
Yeah.
No.
So we're funded by a private foundation. And so I said to the director of the foundation, I said, hey, who do you know that handles the 501c3 filing? Right? My husband's a CPA. Could he handle it? Absolutely. But he's never done it before, so it's going to take him longer. Right? And so she connected us with an attorney who's done the 501c3 filing for lots of the nonprofits she's had before. And it really was,
okay.
I had a conversation with the attorney. This is what we're doing. She sent me a bunch of paperwork. I put a board together. We signed the paperwork and approved everything. And the lawyer handled the rest. It was seamless and easy because we hired the right person. And
so this has been 3 months. And when did you connect? When did you start Connected Ghostwriting? Was that 2020 or 2019?
So I started, it wasn't named Connected Ghostwriting at the time, but I started ghostwriting and freelance writing in December 2019.
Okay.
And then in November of 2022 is when we officially incorporated as Connected Ghostwriting.
Okay.
By that point, I'd added a writer, an editor, and a virtual assistant. And I said, well, I can't just be Maria Chapman anymore because
you got a team.
There's other people doing
Yeah.
things, right? So
what was it that triggered you to say to yourself, I need to start this nonprofit to help other people?
So the day I got the medical retirement paperwork from the school district. So at this point, this is during COVID, everyone's working remote. I asked to work remote and they said no, because they wanted me to be able to go back into the building within 24 hours notice. It's very strange. And yeah. So then I requested accommodations. I used the job accommodations network and they helped me figure out what reasonable accommodations would be for my condition. I submitted those to the school district and I was denied the accommodations based on the phrase undue hardship, which people don't know about. People think employers have to accommodate. They do not. They can say it's undue hardship. It's going to be too expensive or whatever to accommodate. And so that's what they did. And then there were meetings with the union and the higher ups in the district. And so I was medically retired from the school district. I got the paperwork. I was sitting on the couch with my husband and, the walker's in front of me. And I remember kicking the walker over like I was a toddler having a tantrum or something. I was a little mad. And I said to my husband, he said something silly like, it's okay, you're going to figure this out.
Right.
Right. And I said, but I'm not good at anything else.
Wow.
That was my mental state at the time. Not great. So then I did the Indeed job search thing that one does. Mm-hmm. And I interviewed for a few positions. I actually was offered a position from Scholastic.
Oh, wow.
As a curriculum writer and perfect. I mean, it would have been a perfect segue for me. Right.
Right.
And then I disclosed my disability and requested reasonable accommodations and they withdrew the offer.
Ah, jeez.
Yeah. So at that point, I'm like, all right, we're kind of drowning in medical debt here. I need something. And I applied for Social Security. Now, in Connecticut, teachers don't pay into Social Security, but I had work history since I was 14. And really what I wanted was help with the medical bills. I wanted, right. So I applied for Social Security and I was denied. And when I had the call with the Social Security Administration, they said, we agree that you can no longer work in your original career, right, but we think you can work in some capacity. And I said, great, I agree with you. What services exist to help me figure out a new career? And the guy actually chuckled and said, oh, we don't do that.
What?
And so here I am I'm applying for jobs and I'm being told that I'm too disabled to have the jobs. And then I'm being told that I'm not disabled enough for disability. And I'm like, well, I kind of agree. Like my brain worked fine.
Right.
And I wanted to do something.
I don't.
And
God.
so that's when I decided that once I got through this and once I figured this out, that I would find a way to help other people do the same. And the director of the foundation that funded us, she was a client. And at one point over a Zoom call, I mentioned this to her, not looking for funding, but just as I'd really love to do this someday. And that started the ball rolling. So your network matters.
I'm pissed. No, serious. And this is why.
Hold on, Rich. Hold on.
Oh, God. Am I going to get even angrier?
No, you have two choices. You can sit in the shower and cry, or you can go throw Easter eggs into Lake Michigan.
What? But no, seriously, the thing that I don't understand is, they wouldn't make accommodations for you.
Yes.
Here you are disabled. I would think that stuff would be covered under ADA, but apparently it's not.
Undue hardship is the phrase.
It's a loophole, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. All right, well, that's got to be fixed.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh my God, that is ridiculous. Okay, so you started the ghostwriting, thank God. But was it your original plan to, because you offer all kinds of services with the company, right?
Yes. So we do book writing is the
Right.
first obvious one when people hear ghostwriting, but we also do website and blog content. We have search engine optimization specialists on staff, so we can do website things as well. And then we also do co-writing. That's probably
Co-writing?
it's probably the bulk of what we do right now. And that is, I've been writing my book. I have this draft done and I can't look at it anymore. Please help.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So if I get stuck on mine, I know who to
there
call.
you go. No, it's fun. We sort of make a plan and like, this is what we have. This is what's good about it. This is how we would need to finish it. This is what we would need to change to make it marketable and sellable.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do a book coaching program as well, where I'm holding your nose to the grindstone and making sure you commit and write your book. And
I love that.
With that, right? So with that, I serve as the strategy person. Mm-hmm. I do a lot of positioning work with clients and making sure that the book isn't just done, but that it connects in some way to a broader purpose. And so that might be for the nonprofit. Does it help the participants of the nonprofit? Does it bring in donations? What do we want the book to do? If I'm writing a book for a therapist, am I writing the book to other therapists? Am I writing it to clients? What's the right book to write right now based on the business I want to have in 10 years, not the business I have today? So I do a lot of that work with our coaching program. And then my editor does the, show, don't tell kind of writing craft coaching. And with all of those, we do a lot of work around the ecosystem surrounding the book. So what is your website doing? Are you just doing the book, or is there an online course as well? Because I have the curriculum background. So I end up writing online courses for a lot of my clients from their book. So we do the book, then I write the online course. And so when they're done, they have a lead magnet that gets people on their email list. They have a book that gets people to get used to paying them money for something. They have a low ticket offer. Then they have maybe a course that's a little bit more expensive, or they have a coaching program, whether it's one-to-one or group coaching. And so we're really looking at that whole ecosystem. How do we set it up so that it's not just, I read your book and stop.
Okay. So the type of books are mainly like curriculum books, I guess, maybe even guidebooks. Self-help books, maybe?
A lot of self-help, a lot of personal development. I've written some business books that are directed towards people in the coaching therapy world. Mm-hmm. Sexual wellness books are another one we do. Career development. So like how to make decisions about a career or a career change.
Now, is this strictly... Are you I'm talking about the business, not the nonprofit part. Is it strictly helping people that have a disability, or is that for anybody?
That's anybody.
For anybody.
That's anybody. I do typically hire people who identify as disabled in some way.
Right. Holy cow. You should. Wow. I don't know of any other business like this. Or am I wrong?
My business coach runs Authority Ghostwriting. He's brilliant. He's more expensive than I am because he's been doing it a long time. Josh Burnoff is another ghostwriter that I...
Yeah, but not the ghostwriting part. I mean all the different services you're offering.
Well, right. So the full ecosystem build out. Nick will do that with people, not as a done for you service all the way through. Okay. But yeah, part of it is the team that I've put together can handle all of that. So why not?
I mean, to me, that because a lot of people, I love self-help books, just to give you an idea. But a lot of these self-help books, I never see any, like workbooks to go along with them or even courses you could take. I love the fact that you're coaching the people that are you're doing these books for, and they should be doing that. I mean, to me, that makes sense. Remember in the beginning, you said about as an author, it's hard to make money. But you are looking at all the other ways for these authors to help them make money.
I like the term entrepreneur.
Oh my God. Hello. I thought I was the only one that used that phrase.
No, I love it. No, that's the word I use, because if you are just wanting to be an author, I'm probably not the right ghostwriter for you.
If you're an author, you should look at it as a business. That's my
Absolutely.
take. Wow.
Absolutely. And some people have this negative connotation, and I certainly did before I was in the business world, right? This negative connotation of marketing and selling in business. But so I have clients that they talk about working with me. So let's talk about them. They have a book coming out in August called Ignite Your Power Within. And it is a book for women, and it walks through 14 power words that these two women who are jewelry designers have designed jewelry using these words.
Smart.
And right. And so it's each of the words and why they use it, why it's one of the power words, how to use it in your own life. Okay. So that's the book. In addition to the book, they have a companion journal that's coming out because they preach a journaling habit in the book. But their book is geared towards busy women in their 30s and 40s who are doing the mom thing. And so their journal is a 5-minute journal. It is not
5-minute journal.
It is not, let's write 3 pages a day, right? It's a 5-minute journal. And so they have the book, they have the journal, they have the bracelets. Now they're booking speaking gigs, right? They were just texting me last week that they had a great one at a mompreneur event. So it's not just I'm writing the book and now I'm done. It's I'm writing the book and then I want to do what? So the first thing I ask someone when I sit down with them for a consultation is, what do you want your life to look like in 3 years, 5 years, and 10 years?
Oh,
and I'm not talking about your business. Or notice I didn't ask, what do you want your business to look like?
Right.
It's what do you want your life to look like?
I like that. Man. Oh, so you're a business coach too?
Well, yeah, in the nonprofit. I mean, I do a lot of the business coaching in the nonprofit. And I'm not an expert in all things business.
But you're always learning.
I am always learning, and I know experts in all the things. So I do a lot of connecting people to experts. Like I have so many people in my network, and I am so grateful to all of them who are jumping on calls with the people we're working with in the nonprofit, who are offering a free consultation or, contributing an interview to my book to help people. And I don't know, I'm grateful. It's awesome.
Are you sure we're not like twins somehow? Because I mean, entrepreneur, you just like helping people and about learning from other people. Are you reading? What's the book you're reading right now?
I'm reading The Next Conversation by Jefferson Fisher.
Okay. All right. Because a lot of the stuff you mentioned is also in The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill.
Oh, yes. Nope. I'm not reading that one right now.
Okay. Don't get the deluxe edition. Well, no, get the deluxe edition. It's actually good, but it's thick.
It's a lot.
My daughter thought I was reading the Bible. I said, well, in a way it is, but it's just a different type of Bible.
Right.
It's really thick. So number one, tell everybody where to find the business, the website and everything, if they need your help.
Yeah. ConnectedGhostwriting.com. And it's Connected Ghostwriting LLC on all social media channels. And then you can also find me under my name, Maria Chapman.
All right. So now the nonprofit. I wanted to ask you this question earlier because you're helping entrepreneurs with disabilities. Granted, you're only 3 months old right now, but have you considered going to like the local VA and talking to them? Because I'm sure they could provide you with a lot. You're nodding your head. You already did, didn't you?
So I met this week with the National Disability Institute, and I am talking with, there's a group out of Syracuse who did a study on entrepreneurship for veterans with disabilities. And so I'm working with them and talking to them about their programming and how can we integrate some of the things that they learned into what we're doing in the online academy and in the one-to-one mentorship.
Oh God, that is great. Because I know there's, being a veteran myself, talking to a lot of other veterans that have a disability, a lot of them are just so down that they don't think they can start their own business. And sometimes it is hard to pick them up.
Well, it's that me sitting on the couch, kicking the walker over and saying, I'm not good at anything else.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is too, and here's something I think a lot of people don't realize, because just talking to you, if you were not doing the ghostwriting, just hearing your story and the fact that you're helping others, if you weren't doing ghostwriting, I could see you out doing like motivational speaking and talking to others and helping them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do that too? Oh my God.
I love speaking. Put a microphone in my hand and I'm happy. Yeah. I love speaking.
All right. Hell, Maria, what other kind of surprises do you have for me?
No, that's it. Anything to do with words and helping people.
You sure?
That's it. I'm not going to do your taxes.
Oh, I got to do mine. Those of you listening, don't worry. It's not past D-Day yet. We're recording this on April 3rd. So do you sing as well?
Oh, not since my grandmother's funeral. No.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure, because you said anything with your voice. I just wanted to make sure you didn't throw any more surprises.
I sing in the car. Does that count?
Yeah, karaoke.
Karaoke or kitchen.
Kitchen yoke, shower yoke, any kind of yoke. Yeah, never mind. Don't do that to me. Look, you already messed me up in the beginning, okay? All right, so the nonprofit, something very important. What's the website so people can also go there and make a donation?
Yes. It is journeytosuccess.org with the number 2. So journey2success.org. And there's information on there about our individual, small business, and corporate sponsorships. And then I like to say we have 3 different ways you can get involved with the nonprofit. So if you are a B2B service provider and you are interested in offering either free or discounted services to our participants, we would love to have a conversation with you. And you can contact us right through the website. We also are building out the Journey to Success Academy. So if you have something that you teach better than anyone else, and you would like us to put your course in our online academy, we are happy to do that. We actually have Bernadette Joy, who wrote the book. What's her book? It's not.
I don't know.
It's not in my head right now. Crush Your Money Goals. It was an Oprah bestseller last year. So she donated a couple of her online courses to our situation. And so we're happy to have other people do that. And then, of course, monetary donations are always appreciated as well.
And for the nonprofit, you'll help people anywhere. Doesn't matter what state, country, whatever they're. Well, I guess you got to be careful with the country.
Yeah, I think we're staying U.S. for now because the rules are different.
All right, so all of you listening, especially the ones that, all of you listening, period, make a donation. Those of you listening that have a business, go to the website and look at becoming either a small business sponsor or a corporate sponsor, because from what I don't know of any other nonprofits that are doing something like this.
Yeah, there's a nonprofit out of, I think it's Massachusetts, that helps people with mental illness, focused disabilities. start businesses. And so the director of that nonprofit and I are chatting and working in tandem and referring people back and forth because it's aligned, this. But a little different.
Yeah. I love this. And I can see this just blowing up and, actually this nonprofit I can see becoming your full-time job.
No, I'm not giving up writing. Not doing it.
Never say never.
No, I gave it up once for 9 years. It's not happening again.
Well, you could. All right, the nonprofit would be your full-time job, and the ghostwriting would be your part-time.
My side.
Don't worry, I'm not going to make you work 60 hours a week. Okay.
You couldn't if you tried.
I know. Now, don't tell me you're going to be starting a podcast too.
I have a podcast.
Oh, come on.
No, I do. It's I do a podcast with my SEO specialist content strategist, Stephen Dutzman. It's called Business Words, and every week we pick a word and discuss how it relates to business.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
It's fun. It's fun.
I'm going to have to look that one up. And now, actually, is there a website for that?
No website yet, but we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Business Words.
Okay. Just Business Words or Business Words Podcast?
Business Words.
Business Words. Okay. Man.
We just started that in November, so I'm not. We've been doing it. It's bi-weekly. So.
Okay. Well, good. And great platform for you to push your business too, and the nonprofit.
Well, yeah, and I just get to talk with one of my business besties about words. So
business bestie, I like that. All right, so before I get to my last question, is there anything you would like to add?
No.
What?
I think we covered it, didn't we? We did the whole thing.
I don't know, but I can see you coming back on again.
I'm up for that.
Okay. Yeah, because I want to mention something to you when we're done here, give you an idea, and you can either run with it or just say, Rich, you're crazy. I ain't doing that. Wouldn't it be the first time somebody's told me that?
Who knows?
Okay, so my listeners always submit questions, and I like this one. Okay, this one's from Kelvin Abrams.
Oh dear. Okay.
What quote or principle do you use to guide your life and your business?
Pivot, don't quit.
Where did I see that at?
On my website.
That's why
it's the tagline for the nonprofit.
I like that. Okay.
There's a couple others. I mean, pivot, don't quit, but I also like that quitting isn't failing. It's just that you learned something that made it impossible to stay.
Yeah. You have to fail to succeed. I've always believed that. All right. So that wasn't my last question. This is my last question. What is the next big thing for Maria Chapman?
Ooh, the next big thing is getting my book finished. I'm sending it to the publisher May 1st. That's my drop dead date. So it's with my editor now. She's going to kick it back and tell me all the mistakes I made. Pretty excited about that. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you. And so getting that finished and doing the cover design, all of that.
Yeah. Oh, you're doing the cover design yourself?
No, but I have to pick things, and design is not my strength.
Okay.
So the publisher handles the cover design and all of that, and getting it into Barnes and Noble, and I don't have to handle any of that, thank goodness. But
you have to handle the marketing part, right?
Yeah, but that's fine.
Well, you already know how to get on other podcasts.
I know a thing or two about how to market books.
I would hope so. I would definitely hope so. Maria, I want to thank you so much. And you got to come back on when the book comes out, of course.
I would love to.
And oh God, I have a funny feeling you're going to be on several more times. I feel it.
That's it. Send the invite.
You got it.
I'm ready for it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something from it as I did. If you'd like to hear more conversations like this, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners and share more incredible stories. Don't forget to connect with us on social media or visit our website at conversationswithrichbennett.com for updates, giveaways, and more. Until next time, take care, be kind, and keep the conversations going.
This is Jordan Lally with the Ed Lally Foundation and the acoustic rock band Big Infinite, inviting you to a very special live music event at the Havre de Grace Opera House on May 23rd. We will be hosting not only a concert, but an experience of togetherness and connection for everyone in attendance. And all proceeds from this event go to benefit the Ed Lally Foundation's mental health and suicide prevention outreach. We would love for you to join us. For more details or to purchase tickets, visit edlallyfoundation.org or head over to the Havre de Grace Opera House website.